I'm loving all the videos of people recreating this dance to Padam Padam, Kylie Minogue. The Hobbycraft one is a particular favourite. And these chaps that I'm speaking to next, I think they probably like this one too. Yes, it's Culture Club. Every week on a Thursday night we like to shine a light on a theatre company, arts organisation or a creative force from our local area. Last week we featured the new theatre company Third Element Theatre, and that can be listened back to on BBC Sounds. This week it's the turn of the Isolation Creations, a duo based in Scarborough whose lockdown online parodies and skits provided a much needed lift to us while we couldn't go out anywhere. Well, that lockdown period may be gone, but thankfully the Isolation boys are going from strength to strength. Jamie and Alan join me now. Welcome, chaps.
Hi. Hi, Beth.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, we're good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. You're on the party line.
We are on the party line.
Yeah, you sound like you're on the moon.
Are we a bit echoey and weird?
No, it's fine. We can still hear your wonderful voices, and now that I've acknowledged it's a party line, everyone will be like, ooh, what's a party line? So, Jamie, if I can start with you, can you just explain where Isolation Creations came from?
Yeah, well, it came from when we were locked down. Weirdly, about 2 weeks before the lockdown happened, Alan had purchased off eBay a bag of wigs. Now, I don't think we need to ask any more questions about that, but this bag of wigs appeared in the house about 2 weeks before lockdown. And I think his intention was he was going to, pimp them up a little bit and then sell them on for profit. But what happened was we all got locked down and suddenly all the shops were shut and culture stopped. And we thought, well, we've got this bag of wigs. Why don't we try and make some culture ourselves? And we started, just for fun, recreating TV shows or movies from our past and sending it out for our mates on social media. Some of our mates started sharing it, and before we knew it, we became a bit of a viral hit during lockdown, and we were on Steve Wright's show in Radio 2 in the afternoon, and it just went a bit mental from then on in, and we've not stopped. We like to say the Isolation Creations are like dogs. It's not just for lockdown, they're for life.
Alan, can you just maybe describe some of the scenes that you chose to do over lockdown, some of the examples of the things that you were parodying?
Yeah, we did all sorts of genres. Remember that all the shops were shut, so we were using things like cardboard and curtains, but we did things like Doctor Who. I dressed as a Dalek, using silver gaffer tape and things like that. We did Handmaid's Tale. We did Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. We were doing like a movie a day, really. And then after about 3 or 4 months of doing the photos, we started making videos. So we started with like the Heart to Heart theme, the credits for Heart to Heart, and the Golden Girls.
And now that you're not in lockdown, though, have you started to use actual props, or do you still love making them from whatever you've got around?
Well, we're limited budget, so if props are expensive, I'd rather make them.
Yeah, well...
we pick up bits and pieces from the charity shops and online, and people are actually quite generous. They send us things. They send us little things like jewellery and wigs and little props here and there.
I think there's something quite charming about how kind of homemade and crafty what we create is.
And imagine, if somebody sent you something, I bet they can't wait to actually see it featured in something. That's my pair of earrings. That's Alan wearing my wig. So it started in lockdown, and you've obviously got your YouTube channel, which you still regularly do, live events where you've got a really big community. But you've gone out into the wider world, haven't you? And you're doing things in real life. Can you explain a little bit about what you've been up to since?
Yeah, we have. It feels weird, Beck, because suddenly we're having to. Costumes have to be 360. Before, when it's on photograph or video, we can manipulate it and not show, our backsides where things are like scaffer taped or bulldog clipped together. Now we've got people can see us from all angles, so we've got to look good. But we were invited last year to do something at the Stephen Joseph Theatre here in Scarborough. so we put together a bingo show, and that went down a storm. We sold out within about a week, I think. And so we've started doing that more regularly. We've got, I think we've got 3 in the diary at the moment. We've got 1 coming up next month. And they're not just because you get drag bingo everywhere at the moment, and that's just, a drag queen rocking up to a place and making a few rude jokes. I think what we do is performance theatre. It's different. It's a proper show with Alan's done stand-up for years, so he's stand-up. I do a lot of crowd stuff, interaction. It's just good old-fashioned kind of like end of the pier.
Yeah,
shows.
like variety.
Yeah.
And you're actually in the brochure of the Stephen Joseph Theatre. How cool is that?
We're in print. I'm haranguing them to try and get our name up in lights outside.
That would be fantastic. So you said you've got a few in the diary. What have you got coming up that people can actually, try and come to?
Well, we've got in July, so July 16th, so in about 2-3 weeks, we have Cell Block Bingo. So for anyone of a certain age like us who remembers Cell Block H, the old Australian soap opera from the 70s and 80s, we're bringing that to life, our little take on it. So we've got some warders you can meet, some prisoners, top dog, a tart with a heart. Our favourite characters, Sherry Stump and Brandy Cobbler, will be making an appearance. They're going to get locked up.
Easy.
And so it's an afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon, and it's just games galore, bingo, prizes. Just a really, like I say, a daft afternoon. Think the 2 Ronnies. Think Les Dawson, Sissy and Ada. That's the sort of thing you can expect from us. Not RuPaul. We're not going to be doing death drops, split leaps, and lip syncing.
So if people want to find out more about what you're up to, where's the best place for them to go?
Well, for the bingo, they can book on the SJT website, and for us, we're known as the Isolation Creations, and we're on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook.
Well, every week on Culture Club, Alan and Jamie, I like to ask people, apart from your own, obviously, that you want to talk about, your own stuff, where do you like to go for your culture?
Well, we're a big fan of the SJT, actually. Since moving, we've seen lots of their shows. We find it a great space. I mean, not only do they have a wonderful theatre, but they have a great cinema there, where they show, I sort of call them arty films. But yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff in that building, and we're just so glad it's not just in the end of the road.
Yeah, and it is literally near you, isn't it? So it's handy. Yeah. We get a lot of people saying how wonderful that theatre is, and I have memories of it when it was just a cinema. So it's wonderful to see how much it's grown and changed, as we move forward. It's brilliant.
It's such a beautiful old, like, proper Art Deco cinema building as well, isn't it? It's lovely.
Yeah, and what do you both like to do, to relax and to when you're not trying to be Les Dawson?
A bit of culture. We love, we're binge watchers, so we will get down in front of the telly and binge watch a TV show. At the moment, we're working our way through Black Mirror, which we are loving on Netflix. So yeah, we binge watch shows. I can't remember the last TV show that I watched like week on, week off.
Yeah.
I think even now, something like Happy Valley, which we loved, I waited until all the episodes had finished so we could again binge watch it. So I think my whole viewing habits have changed now.
Well, I think we all of our habits have changed because you used to have to wait for it. It was tough.
I know,
you didn't have a choice.
I can't even imagine that anymore. But I bet that was, I remember it being lovely. You know how, the water cooler moments.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you didn't have to kind of keep it. You didn't have to keep it a secret if you've seen it and somebody else has seen it. It was like you talked about it the next day as soon as it went on. Jamie and Alan, thank you so much for being my Culture Club this week. Just remind us of where people can find you.
You can find us on Twitter at Create Isolate, and everywhere else we are The Isolation Creations.
Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great
thanks,
rest of
Bex.
your week.
Thank
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 you.
you. Bye, bye, bye.
Me not working hard. Yeah, right. Picture that with a Kodak. Or better yet, go to Times Square, take a picture of me with a Kodak. Took my life